on Worst Take, we go around the NBA media landscape reacting to Knicks takes, Knicks sound bites, you name it, and we react to it. And so on this episode of Worst Take, Al, Stan Van Gundy, former coach of the Detroit Pistons, was asked about the relationship between the Knicks and their fans, between the fan base and the Knicks. And Van Gundy on Knicks fans said this, per the New York Post, Steve Serby. They're front-running fans. They're in love with their team when things are going well, but they'll boo their team off the floor when they're not playing well. That's not a crowd that's focused on lifting you up. Your thoughts?
I can now understand why Josh Hart had Stan Van Gundy as his least favorite head coach, because this man makes no sense of what he's talking. It's bad enough I got to listen to your commentary, Stan, but now you got to talk about the fan. First of all, let me just say this. I was watching this team when it was awful, all right? Awful. And I still rock with this team when it was awful, all right? The fans are locked in 24/7, all right? 365 with no matter who you put out on the court. MSG always sells out, all right? It's not fair weather fans over here. Get that nonsense away, all right? We've been here watching Emmanuel Mudiay. You can go back to watching Eddie Curry on this team. You can talk about any player. I got hyped when we got Amari Stoudemire, all right? Raymond Felton and Amari Stoudemire. I was hyped for that team. For Stan to say that, we're essentially, they'll boo their team off their floor when they're not playing well. Like, I'll watch this team regardless. I will say this, though. It just shows how passionate we are. Like, we want to see this team compete. We're not a bad fan base. We want to see this team compete. We love this team no matter what. And so I think when you hear fans boo, it's because we expect better out of this team. We expect better out of this franchise. It's not some fair weather fan nonsense. I think Stan just needs to keep quiet and focus on, doing his own damn thing.
I mean, it was the most ridiculous take I've ever heard. I mean, one of. I'll say that. It's definitely one of the worst takes we've heard all year. And for Stan Van Gundy to say that, that's a veteran head coach. He's coached as an opposing coach in the Garden for a decade or plus. This is passion. There's nothing front-running about the Knicks fan. They are the most passionate fan base, the most loyal. They haven't won a championship in 50-plus years, Stan. The place is still sold out. Home, on the road, playoffs, summer league, preseason. We are there for this team. Haven't won a championship in 50-some-odd years. The Knicks fan, they pay their money. They buy their season tickets. They buy their merch. Everything locked in with this team. Every time. I mean, you go through the dark days of the 2000s, 20 years of darkness. I mean, from the Steph years to the Melo years to Chris Duhon running the point, Michael Doliak, Stephon Marbury pick and roll. The Garden faithful has been there. Regime to regime, locked in, hopeful, delusional, and still there. That is us. That is absolutely us. And as you see it, from city to city, I said this year, the Knicks fan puts money on your team's books. Ask the Wizards fan how bad, ask the Wizards ownership how bad the Knicks fan is when we come to town. The Charlotte Hornet fan, the Orlando Magic fan, Miami Heat. I can go on and on. I've been there. We went to Miami, had it rocking. We went to Atlanta, had it rocking. We put money on your team's books. So never ever say that the Knicks fan is a front runner because they boo their team. They want excellence. There's nothing wrong with that. If I'm a fan and I'm being charged $500 for the nosebleed seats, you charge me $20 for a glizzy, hey, that's a pretty price to pay. No, I shouldn't just go home and be happy with it. If the product stinks, the fan should be able to react. That's what makes them a fan. They are a fanatic.
CP, it's interesting that with Stan forget there is a Knicks for clicks thing out there, right? I mean, why do they constantly put out articles? Why do they cover a team? And why they always make a mockery? Why? Because they know Knicks fans, as passionate as they are, will come out, defend the team, even for how bad it was. I'd defend Alonzo Trier, man, for how bad this team was. All right? Like, get out of here. Like, publishing companies will put out articles about the Knicks mocking them. And our fan base will go and
Yeah.
protect this team. That is passion. That is how much we love this team. And you know what? You know, CP, and this is good for the next segment, as much as Knicks fans love their team, what are other opposing arenas doing?
Let's talk about it.
Because we love this team so much.
Let's talk about this, man. I mean, you just can't make it up. This is why it was like perfect timing when he brought this up to when this came out. Because as we talk about playoffs and as we talk about tickets, the Detroit Pistons, Al, for their playoffs are limiting on Ticketmaster, are limiting the purchases to customers located in Michigan, parts of Ohio, Indiana, and Ontario, Canada, as determined by the Pistons and subject to change. A customer's eligibility to purchase tickets for this game is determined by the credit card billing address utilized for the transaction. Orders by customers outside of the billing address restricted area will be canceled without notice, and those customers will receive a refund. Al, good people of the chat, the Pistons are shook and they are scared of the New York takeover. They're scared.
Yeah, they are scared. And look, Stan Van Gundy, this is where you need to shut up. All right, man? Look at this. We got opposing arenas because they saw what we did to Philadelphia last year. And they said, whoa, we can't have that in the first round because these, fair weather fans, these front-running fans, as you call it, Stan, we just spend money endlessly. We'll get on a plane to go follow this team wherever they go because that's how much of front-runners we are. Get out of here with this nonsense, man. But then for Detroit to do this, you afraid of the smoke? You afraid? Come on, man. You got your team acting like the bad boy Pistons. Can't be doing this, man.
They are shook, man. And right now, I'm showing the Philly takeover. Who was there for the Philly takeover? Game 4. Shout out to J. Cal. They had us all over ESPN, TNT. Me, the Knicks chick, Jeff. Sea of Knicks fans. You saw Terry and Trey in the mix. We took over. And what did Philly do the next night? They had to buy up the seats for Game 6 for firefighters, first responders. It was a good gesture by them, but it just showed the power of this fan base. Okay? So that is for Stan Van Gundy, man. Get your facts straight because that, Stan, is a worst take. Absolute worst take.
Awful.
Yeah.
People are asking if this is legal to do.
You know what? Yeah, several people are asking if it's legal to do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I'm not sure.
I think, I don't know. I don't know how it would go, but, they are a private entity. They can limit the license to whoever enters there. They can do whatever they want. They can restrict.
I would have to think so. But look, but the bottom line is these are desperate measures. Why? Al?
We haven't even played a game yet, man.
Why? Well, for one, because they know the tickets are cheaper. They know the Knicks fan who is maybe coming from New York. We got fans all over the place.
Willing to spend $500 for a nosebleed.
We willing to spend ducats, but that $500 in Detroit, that will get you a nice seat in the house,
dude.
Nice seat. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not that far from New York. It's about an hour and a half flight, man. So
hour and a half flight.
It's like a road trip.
You want to hop on a bus? You want to hop on a Peter Pan Chinatown bus? 13 hours, maybe. Hey,
the Megabus, the $1 back. Remember the $1 back in the day?
Remember that? That was way back in the day.
Pray for your life to get there in one piece.
Yeah. Pray that the steering wheel is on the bus. Yeah, so those are the desperate tactics that Detroit is doing to try to keep us out of there. The Knicks fan will find a way. We will find a way. If we got to call a cousin up, out in Detroit, we ain't talked to him in years, but hey, throw it out on the CC, man. You got it, man. I got you, man. I'll pay you back on a Venmo or something. Something quick like that.
Get the VPN going, CP.
Get the VPN going. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's just some funny stuff we had to share and laugh about for sure.